Hello, and welcome back to our Scrum Study course on a guide to the Scrum body of knowledge. We are in Module 3 of the SBOC of Chapter Change, where we have just finished learning about Overview of Change. And in this session, we're going to learn the importance of effectively managing change in a Scrum project and how we achieve flexibility and stability in changing environment using Scrum Framework. The Scrum Framework emphasizes flexibility. However, it is important to understand that although the Scrum Framework emphasizes flexibility, it is also important to maintain stability throughout the change process. In the same way that extreme rigidity is ineffective, extreme flexibility is also unproductive. The key is to find the right balance between flexibility and stability, because stability is needed in order to get work done. Therefore, Scrum uses iterative delivery and its other characteristics and principles to achieve this balance. Scrum maintains flexibility in that the change requests can be created and approved at any time during the project. However, they get prioritized when the prioritized product backlog is created or updated. At the same time, Scrum ensures that stability is maintained by keeping the sprint backlog fixed and by not allowing interference with the Scrum team during a sprint. In Scrum, all requirements related to an ongoing sprint are frozen during the sprint, and no change is introduced until the sprint ends, unless a change is deemed to be significant enough to stop the sprint. In the case of an urgent change, the sprint is terminated and the sprint meets to plan a new sprint. This is how Scrum accepts changes without creating the problem of changing release dates. Achieving flexibility in change. Scrum facilitates flexibility through transparency, inspection, and adaptation to ultimately achieve the most valuable business outcomes. Scrum provides an adaptive mechanism for project delivery in which a change in requirements can be accommodated without significantly impacting overall project progress. As shown in the figure, flexibility in Scrum is achieved through 5 key characteristics: iterative product development, time boxing, cross-functional teams, customer value-based prioritization, and continuous integration. Scrum follows an iterative and incremental approach to product and service development, making it possible to incorporate change at any step in the development process. As the product is developed, a change request for the project can come from multiple sources.
Business stakeholders,
Particularly, sponsor, customers, and users may submit change requests at any time throughout the project. Moreover, stakeholders may submit change requests as they are reviewing the deliverables during the demonstrate and validate sprint, retrospect sprint, or
retrospect release
processes. Ongoing interaction between the Scrum core team members may motivate Scrum core team members to suggest changes or improvements to the product, service, or some other part of the project. Usually such changes, like any others, are captured in change requests, and the product owner makes a final decision about such changes should be considered as formal change requests. Because of changes in the strategic direction of the company, competitive landscape, funding-related issues, and so forth, the portfolio and program management can recommend changes that affect the project. Due to change in government regulations, lessons learned from previous projects, or some corporate directives for quality and security, the Scrum guidance body may submit change requests that affect all projects. These are the sources of change requests in a project. Time boxing refers to setting short periods of time for work to be done. If the work undertaken remains incomplete at the end of the time box, it is moved into a subsequent time box. Time boxes aid in gauging the process of the project and allows the team to easily identify when they may need to modify a process or approach. Time box sprints contribute greatly toward meeting deadlines and achieving high levels of productivity. They provide a platform to gauge results and obtain feedback in a short span of time. Errors or problems can be identified early and can be rectified quickly, hence achieving flexibility through time boxing. Having cross-functional and self-organized teams allows the group to adapt and effectively manage the ongoing work and any minor issues or changes without having to obtain support or expertise from members outside the team, and in the process, create deliverables that are ready to be shipped if necessary. The prioritization of requirements and work in a Scrum project is always determined based on the value provided to the customer. When a request is made for a new requirement or a change to an existing one, it is evaluated during the
Refine prioritized product backlog process.
Using continuous integration techniques, Scrum team members can incorporate new and modified features into the deliverables whenever possible. These are the 5 key characteristics which help achieve flexibility. This brings us to the end of our session on the changes in Scrum and achieving flexibility. I look forward to seeing you in our next session on the integrating change. Until then, goodbye, and thank you for learning with us.